Усім привіт! Вітаю вас на каналі Валяна Плей. Ми продовжуємо проходити Hogwarts. Зараз ми знаходимося в Хоксміді. Погляньте, як тут відбувається підготовка до Нового року. Вони нарешті прикрасили містечко, почали з'являтися ялиночки. Вони тут всюди. Оце я розумію. Затишне стало містечко, почали продавати феєрверки. Давайте прогуляємось містечком. У нас наразі вже весна, в Хоксміді наближається Різдво. Купа бурульок з дахів звисає. Це у нас котел 3 мітли, біля якого аж 2 ялинки. Гарно. Вони що, прям на ялинки стоять? Мені здається, вони забагувалися. Хлопче, польоти на мітлі тут заборонені, ти це знаєш? Ти це знаєш? Можна, до речі, забрати покращення для нашої мітли?
Hello again. Wonderful to see you.
Покращення для мітли 4000. Ого.
Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again. You're all set with the new upgrade. I can't wait to hear what you think. This may sound presumptuous, but...
You'd like me to report back with even more flight details?
You know me well. I feel I'm almost there. I just think I can improve broom flight a bit more. Miss Ray's is running a time trial at the South Coast course. Not ideal, really, what with rumours of Ranrock's lot and Ashwinders infiltrating the place. However, if you're flying high above them, you should be all right, I think.
Добре, вони мене не лякають.
I'm not worried, Mr. Weeks. I'll see if I can find Imelda.
I hope you are able to complete these trials. I have a feeling this final upgrade is going to be a sweeping success. Do be careful, of course. I shall look forward to hearing from you soon. I look forward to our next meeting.
Окей.
We should speak with Mr. Bickle's friends. I believe I can sneak away without drawing my mother's eye. Meet me near Hogsmeade, and we will devise a plan.
Що?
I think I know how and where to approach the centaurs about protecting the Snidgets. Meet me in the Forbidden Forest.
Відразу 2 квеста підлетіло. Нам, типу, потрібно знайти, як потрапити до кабінету директора, і це все призведе нас до 3-го випробування хранителя. Але в нас з'явилися квести від наших компаньйонів, з якими теж потрібно розвивати стосунки. Типу, неочікувана зустріч. Знову з попів заборонено Мелісі, шукати сничика і підстава для шантажу, поговорити з Натті біля Хоксміда. Давайте розпочнемо з квести, будемо шукати з попі сничика. Мені цікаво, що це за маленькі пташки такі, які в них вимерли. Знову ніч. Як завжди, ми зустрічаємося з попі вночі. Як ми любимо лазити тут вночі. Явочки. Поппі, тобі одного разу дістанеться за те, що ти вештаєшся по ночам.
Is this where we're meeting the centaurs?
Well, they don't exactly know we're coming, so it's less of a meeting and more of a surprise, I suppose.
Їм це не сподобається, але сподіваюсь, вони
Once we
зрозуміють.
tell them about the Snidgets, they'll understand why we came and they'll want to help.
I hope you're right. Perhaps they'll be able to tell that we're sincere. There's something about them that's so knowing. It's almost unnerving.
Кентаври відомі своєю мудрістю.
I suppose they are known for having an air of omniscience.
That's exactly the right word. I just... never mind.
What is it?
It's nothing. truly. We've no secrets to hide.
That's right. We'll simply be honest with them about what we're trying to do. They'll have to help us, won't they?
Yes, of course. You're absolutely right. We'll meet with them, tell them about the snidgets, and I'm sure it'll all be fun.
Що трапилось? Ціле кодло на нас прискакало? Але ж ми не загроза для них. Тільки не вбивайте.
Please! We were hoping to speak with you.
I suppose you'd like a tale for your friends of the time you spoke to a centaur and it spoke back.
No, never. We're here because we need your help.
Enough! You made a grave error in judgment in coming here, little witch.
А, нас просто так б'ють? Ви серйозно?
Leave them be, Alec. We do not harm the young. It is not our way.
You forget your place, old fool. I'm the leader of this herd, and while you cling to our way, their kind continues to slaughter beasts like us without a care.
Це ж діти,
From
алло.
what I can see, they have slaughtered no one. They will leave here unharmed.
Mark my words, Doran. If I ever see them again, it will be all three of your heads.
Foolish children. Do you know what happens to wizards who wander here? Now, follow me before
Golden snidgets are still alive, and the poachers are after them. They know that the key to finding them lies in the moonlight, but they don't know what that means, yet. Please, help us find the snidgets before the poachers do.
Could it be? In the south, there is a cave within which lies what the poachers seek. A moonstone. Retrieve it and place it in the henge in the forest. I, on the other hand, must go speak with the herd. Find me after you have done this.
I don't understand. So the moonlight mentioned in the journal doesn't refer to actual moonlight, but to a moonstone. What do moonstones have to do with snidgets? And why was he so certain about where we could find one?
Тому що ми маленькі пронири. Ми припхалися сюди вночі, тоді коли нормальні чарівники малі сюди не ходять такий час.
Isn't Moonstone all around us? Why retrieve one from a cave?
Knowing centaurs, I suspect he's referring to a specific moonstone. We'll likely know it when we see it.
I don't know, but I am inclined to believe him, what with his being a centaur and all.
I am too. It is a shame how quickly he left. What was his name? Doran.
That's what the leader of the herd called him.
Well, if Doran knows something we don't, I'd rather act now and ask questions later. I can head to the library and start looking into the cave he mentioned. I'll let you know what I find.
Ото і все. На цьому наші зараз пригоди в цьому лісі скінчаться. Будемо чекати на новий лист від Попі. Ну тоді ми злітаємо зараз в Хоксміт, поговоримо з Натті.
Are you ready to put an end to Harlow?
Ну, не знаю. Зараз влипнемо в якісь проблеми.
I'm ready to do what's needed to take Harlow down. I know you have a plan.
We must gather information from the friends of Mr. Bickle that Archie and Mrs. Bickle mentioned. Agabus Filbert, Otto Dibble, and Mr. and Mrs. Reb.
All right.
I suggest that you speak with each of them while I head to the Hogshead. I saw some ashwinders heading there. And as my mother would never go near the Hogshead, she is less likely to learn of my activities than if I were to wander the village questioning its residents.
Так, а де ж їх знайти?
Where am I to find these friends of his?
I do not know about Mr. Rabe, but his wife, Daisy, is often in Hogsmeade, as is Agabus Filbert. And Otto Dibble, he works at Gladrags, so you will likely find him there.
What sort of information am I trying to gather from these people?
They may know what evidence Mr. Bickle had against Harlow, or they may have evidence of their own. We simply need to know whatever they know.
Very well. I'll speak with them. See what I can learn.
I knew I could rely on you. We need to know how they are being blackmailed by Rookwood and Harlow. Meet me here after you have spoken with them. Hopefully, by the time you return, I will be able to move a bit more freely.
Добре, будемо тоді шукати їх. Що це в нас тут?
Revelio.
Довідничок. Гоксміт. Єдине селище в Англії, де нема жодного магла. Гоксміт протягом століть був улюбленим місцем для учнів Хогвартсу з 3-го класу і старших. О, ми зібрали довіднички. А ну, що нам мені дали? Нам дали винагороду, зовнішній вигляд спорядження. Теж непогано. Де, власне, шукати цих людей? Біля ферми, ось тут. Давайте поки збігаємо сюди. Зараз всіх знайдемо, з усіма побалакаємо. Те, що за костюм мені дали?
Agabus Filbert must be around here somewhere.
Агабус Філберт стоїть тут. Озирається.
Excuse me, Mr. Filbert. I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him.
Tragic what happened to Bickle. He wanted me to speak out against Harlow for an act of violence committed against me. But I feared Harlow's retaliation, and so I refused.
Якщо ви пам'ятаєте, ми в одній з попередніх серій врятували маленького хлопчика, якого викрили гобліни і вбили, власне, його батька, і, типу, залякали усіх друзів цієї сім'ї Біклів. Ось ми намагаємося знайти компромат на цього Гарлоу, один із поплічників нашого головного антагоніста. Тому ми копаємо, так би мовити, в цьому напрямку.
If you had spoken out against him as Mr. Bickle asked, perhaps Harlow would be locked away by now.
Perhaps. But perhaps I would have suffered a similar fate.
You said that Harlow committed an act of violence against you. Could you tell me what happened?
Before my extraordinary wife, Dulcibella, passed away,
Dulcibella.
she had just completed a small book of poetry. As a surprise for her birthday, one she never had the chance to celebrate, I had the book beautifully bound and plated in gold. One day, Harlow came calling to punish me for having spoken out against the Neanderthals that comprise Rookwood's lot. Before I knew it, I'd been petrified, and Harlow was rifling through my home. He found the book of poetry, with its exquisite gold plating. I watched helplessly, lying there in my entranceway as he walked away with the book, laughing as he went. I was shaken to my core. Still am, to be honest.
I imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again. But do you mind if I share this information with Officer Singh?
I suppose I have no choice. This extortion can't go on forever. You can pass it on to anyone who may be willing to help. Harlow does not like people talking, as you already know.
Now to find Mr. Bickle's other two friends.
Добре, пошукаємо решту друзів Бікла.
Otto Dibble works at Gladrags. I should check there.
Гладраксі, це типу де? Oh.
Please tell me you didn't take it, but perhaps it's been here all along.
Це типу речі продають тут. Так, тут є вихід, я не знала, тут типу двоє працювали чоловічків.
Please tell me you didn't take it, but perhaps it's been here all along.
Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow.
I've nothing to say about him. May I interest you in a stunning cravat today?
Please, sir, I would like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle.
You know the Bickles? All right, but we must be discreet. Can't have Mr. Hill hearing this.
I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of
Oh,
the
he's a
troll
good
attack.
man, but even he wouldn't understand about Harlow. It started a few weeks ago. I was distracted, reading a note, when you-know-who came into the shop. I hid the note behind the counter and offered to help him. He stared at me for a moment, then asked me to check on an order he'd placed. I went into the storeroom to check on what turned out to be a non-existent order. When I returned, he was holding the note.
What was in the note?
It was a note from Rosie Hill, Mr. Hill's daughter. You see, we've been, well, secretly engaged these past 6 months. We haven't told Mr. Hill yet. I dare say he has higher hopes for her. Harlow advised me in no uncertain terms that my relationship with Rosie, not to mention my employment here, depended upon my cooperation.
What did he ask you to do?
It all happened so quickly. In an instant, he took a very expensive scarf from the counter, pocketed it, and smiled. He said, "Your secret is safe as long as I can supply my lady friend with delightful items like this every so often." I've been able to cover for his requests until now with some creative bookkeeping, but I can't keep it up for much longer. I'm terrified to say anything. I could never live without Rosie.
Який жах, тобто всі заручники обставин. Як ви приховували вимагання?
What have you been doing to keep the extortion a secret?
Well, as I mentioned, creative bookkeeping. And I've also been trying to cover the costs with my own savings, but I'm running out of money. Of course, none of this bodes well for my efforts to improve my circumstances and be worthy of Rosie.
Could you give me a bit more detail about the note that might help me to identify it should I come across it?
It's on Rosie's special pink stationery. It has her monogram at the top, RH. That's how Mr. Hill would know it was real.
I met Mr. Hill the day of the troll attack. He was kind to me. Why don't you just tell him?
He's a lovely man, but when it comes to Rosie, I fear he loses all perspective. He'd see this as a grave betrayal. I'd lose my job instantly, and Rosie as well.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down.
I would love nothing more than to see him rotting in Azkaban, but be careful. He's an awful man and incredibly dangerous. As for Rosie's letter, should you happen upon it, I have committed it to memory. You may destroy it immediately.
Understood.
Now hurry off before Mr. Hill returns. Where was I?
We're on the right track. Now to find the last of Mr. Bickle's friends.
Оце хлопчина встряг. Він повинен був відразу сказати, що прийшов цей тип і його шантажує. Він не повинен був брехати і це все приховувати. Тепер все стало набагато складніше і гірше.
Mrs. Rabe should be nearby.
А ось вона.
Oh, Isco, what have I done?
Що вже таке?
Mrs. Rabe, I wondered if I might speak with you about Theophilus Harlow. I'm a friend of the Bickles and I'm trying to gather evidence against him.
Poor Joanna and little Archie. And now Harlow has taken my darling Isco.
What do you mean? Why?
I'm a security guard at Gringotts, and my husband is a curse breaker for them. Harlow approached me about helping him extort my colleagues into giving him treasures from the vaults.
And you declined?
Of course I declined. Repeatedly. I thought they'd given up, until I came home one night and found my husband gone, and a note affixed to my door with a knife. The note stated that I only had a few days to reconsider helping with some banking needs, and that my husband would appreciate it if I acted quickly. But the help Harlow wants is help that I cannot give, and my dearest Isco is paying the price.
І, звісно, вона не звернулася до правоохоронців і не сказала, це якийсь кошмар. Чому Гарлоу забрав вашого чоловіка?
Why wouldn't Harlow extort your husband?
Isco's job is even more removed from the vaults than mine. He travels the world for the bank. He could do nothing for Harlow. I'm the one in the bank on a daily basis, which evidently makes me an enticing target for blackmail.
Have you helped Harlow since your husband was taken?
No, I'm worried sick about Isco, but he'd never want me to compromise my integrity. I also know that he's extremely clever. That said, I was hoping he would have escaped by now. It makes me concerned as to why he hasn't.
Доволі хитро вони зробили. Гобліни викрали саме людину, на людей простіше за все тиснути, використовуючи слабкості типу сім'ї, друзів. З гоблінами так, мабуть, би не проканало. Прикро.
Are you sure the note means that your husband was kidnapped?
What else could it possibly mean? Besides, I came home to find that someone had trampled the daisies in our garden. It may sound silly, but those were Isco's pride and joy. He would never have let that happen.
Thank you, Mrs. Rabe. Knowing the lengths that Harlow will go to is helpful, albeit more than disturbing.
Mr. Bickle was trying to help us, but now he's gone. I don't know what to do.
I shall do all I can to get evidence against Harlow, Mrs. Rabe.
Very well. Here's the note I received. You must be careful as well. Please don't put yourself in danger.
Пані Рейб, ми дуже сподіваємося, що ви ще раз розглянете можливість допомогти нам з нашими банківськими потребами. Ми дали вам достатньо часу, щоб прийняти рішення самостійно, але ми починаємо втрачати терпіння. Ми знаємо, що ваш чоловік був би вдячний, якби ви побачили цінність нашої спільної роботи. Чи варто очікувати відповіді до кінця тижня? Краще залишити це між нами, якщо ви розумієте, про що ми.
Some evidence worth hanging on to.
Thank you. I hope it's not too late.
I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Natty.
Так, треба віднайти Натті і все їй розповісти. Мені здається, що Натті вже подружилася з копом місцевим. І постійно їй щось розповідає. Ми знайдемо цього покидька, і ми притягнемо його до відповідальності, зло має бути покаране. Де тут наша Натті?
It's not like Natty to be late. She said she was going to the Hog's Head. Perhaps I'll find her there.
Угу. Натті вкраднули. Підемо до кабанячої голови. Ми, власне, там вже були. Один разок там ми зустріли нашого гобліна Лотгока, якому почали допомагати підкрастися ближче до Ранрока. Це доволі маленьке місце. Як Натті тут могла загубитись?
Natty must be around here somewhere.
А що це за квітки розкидані? Тільки не кажіть, що її вкраднули. Паличка? Натті?
Natty's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Revelio will show me where she was taken.
Почалося. Поганий з неї детектив. О, що це за сліди? А це в нас що таке? Причал Кабаняча голова. Ці доки біля корчми Кабаняча голова – приємне місце, щоб посидіти відпочити, якщо ви можете це зробити, перебуваючи за 2 кроки від будь-яких мерзенних подій, які можуть відбуватися в сумнозвісній корчмі. Якісь брудні сліди. А чому тут стільки багнюки? Ти щось знаєш? Паскудо, кажи. Ти явно щось знаєш. Ти куди в стінку пішов? Він просто зник. Пошуткував про допитливі очі і зник. Розчинився. Слухай, чувак, де моя подруга? Ти можеш пити в такий час? Ти серйозно? Лаванда, ти що це робиш? Ти це кінь.
Revelio.
Ось
Natty
о.
must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly. Revelio.
Не зря мати просила її не лізти, куди не треба, і не шукати проблем на свою дубцю. Що за головоломка тут?
The hidden door.
О,
Natty must
не
have been taken this way.
обов'язково
I need to find her quickly.
знайти книгу і знайти любовний лист. Потрібно це все знайти. Нормально вони тут влаштувалися, слухайте. Цілий величезний підвал. І це все в кабанячій голові у нас під носом. І це ніхто нічого не бачив.
Better be sure I'm not seen.
Нічого собі. Якийсь захисний купол.
Harlow says her friend would be reckless enough. He wants them alive.
Only a Hogwarts student would be arrogant enough to come in here alone.
Just keep an eye out.
Вони мене чекають, вони її викрали. Чисто, щоб я прийшла. От ви паскуди.
An aversion to the dog arts, merely in my mind.
Так, куди ми можемо пройти тихенько? Так, щоб мене не побачили, не почули. Раніше, чим потрібно. Нічого ж не видко. Люмос мій побачить. Однозначно. Де ж я можу знайти лист, який мене цікавить? О, 35-й рівень, чувака! Ха-ха-ха! Давайте його пошукаємо. Хто це, що це взагалі за тип, як з ним боротися? Гвендолін Чо змушена шантажем підкоритися. Гвендолін Джоу неохоче була інформатором попеляшок у Міністерстві магії. Після того, як її викрили та звільнили, Гвендолін була змушена приєднатися до руху, щоб захищати та забезпечувати свою сім'ю. 35-го рівня! У мене ще молоко на губах не обсохло, як то кажуть, лізти на неї.
Why is a mouse round here? Can't say a mind.
Мене тут
I hope
нема.
Rookwood knows what he's doing.
Тобі здалось, не дивись сюди. Не дивись сюди, тобі здалось. Розвернись.
I remember my father speaking. Seems now that
I know you're there.
Did you hear that? Why we don't...
Натті, мені треба твоя допомога.
Is that the best you can do?
Гвендолін якось швидко відлетіла. Ти дістала мене. А мене лякали, що буде важко. О, люблю тебе в гурі уподібно, чий голос передує скорому дощу, мою зрівняти з крупом принагідно, до тебе вірність щиру доброту. Що? Моє серденько ти зачаклував, я хочу, щоб було це назавжди. Спочатку самого мене причарував, до самого кінця єдиним будеш ти. Дульці Белла Філверд. Ми знайшли цей... Знайшли цей вірш. Так, я хочу капусту. Капуста вперед. Капуста фас. Ой, як капуста його вбиває. Ще треба нам щось знайти. Любовний лист. Рожевий лист, той, який ми шукаємо, РХ. Мій любий Отто, я перечитувала твій останній лист знову і знову і впевнена, що читатиму його щогодини, допоки ми не зустрінемось. Мене лякає думка, що я ще не скоро тебе побачу, але я не покидаю надії. Я чекаю того дня, коли ми розділимо день наших заручень із тими, кого ми любимо, особливо з моїм любим батьком. Не дивно, що ти хочеш почекати, допоки не осядеш, коханий. Я знаю, що ти робиш усе можливе, щоб уладнати це питання. Дозволю тобі сказати, що останні місяці я була на вершині щастя, та неможливість поділитися своїм почуттям з іншими – це справжнє випробування. А зараз я піду, щоб ще раз прочитати твого листа. З любов'ю, Розі. Ну, ніби забрали. Пацюки. Знову пацюки. Що це? Що це за підйомник? А де це ми? Ха? А, можна було просто піднятися. Типу, тут реально можна було пройти по стелсу гру. Ми, як завжди, всіх повбивали. Сидить моя подруга в клітці. Можна камін запалити? Тут нічого не видно. Можна їхні плани почитати, тут взяти. Так, ти хто? Натті. Іско Рейп?
Mr. Rabe, Daisy told me you'd been abducted.
You spoke with my wife. How is she?
Worried about you. Are you all right?
I am all right. Thank you for coming. These locks are cursed, and there's an anti-apparition jinx on the cells. Even Natty's skill with wandless magic cannot free us. I need you to find my wand.
Use mine. We'll find yours together once you're out of there.
I need my wand for this. Using one with which I have no connection may not work as well or as quickly, and we cannot risk detection.
I shall do my best. Any idea where it might be?
It's nearby. I can sense it.
Understood. I'll find it.
Your friend Natty was not able to summon my wand. It must be blocked by something.
Де ж її можу знайти? Цього тут не було. Цієї скриньки.
Mr. Abe's wand could be in there. Mr. Abe's wand. He'll be glad to have this back.
Тримай свою паличку.
Mr. Abe, I found your wand.
Well done. I knew it was nearby. Now, you best stand back. One never knows how a curse will react to being broken.
Все, я відійшла. Ламай двері. Оце і все. Я гадала, тут такий буде бум. Двері винесе.
Thank you, Mr. Isco.
My pleasure. And thank you, my friend. We owe our lives to your bravery. I may be too weak to disapparate with you both, but I can try.
You go ahead. Find Officer Singer. We will get out of here on our own.
Very well. But be careful. Thank you, my young friends.
Be prepared for a fight. These Ashwinders must pay.
Ви якісь занадто зухвалі, як на мене. Типу, він дорослий маг, запропонував врятувати, типу, вас, а ви такі, ми самі виберемося з купи ворогів, тут самі розберемось, а ви, дядя, тікаєте. Натті, мені здається, що ти занадто впевнена, і тебе за це ще покарають. Знайдіть вихід із схованки. Ми, власне, тут частину перебили, але це ж, мабуть, не всі попеляшки. Решти просто не було вдома.
Let's find Officer Singer and put an end to Harlow once and for all.
Це вже офіцерка? Коли вона встигла сюди прийти? Ще й без охорони.
I should have known. And you, the troll dispatcher. Oh, thank goodness the two of you are safe. Isco Rabe told me a couple of students had rescued him. Should have known it was you two.
Is Mr. Rabe all right?
He is. I sent him home to his wife. Miss Onai, your mother will not be pleased to learn that you're still risking your safety pursuing these dangerous men.
Actually, Officer Singer, Natty and I learned of several Hogsmeade residents who've had their lives threatened by the Ashwinders. In addition to abducting Mr. Rabe to blackmail his wife and Natty, Rookwood and Harlow have also extorted Agabus Filbert and Otto Dibble.
I will look into all of that. As for the two of you, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you are taking great risk. Next time, please let the authorities handle the Ashwinders.
Yes, officer. Do you have enough evidence to take down Harlow and the rest of Rookwood's lot?
Well, it's certainly a good start. We shall see. But you can leave this to me now. Natsai, you may wish to speak with your mother about this before I do.
My mother will not like this. Thank you again for rescuing me. We shall speak soon.
Lumos.
Я сподіваюсь, вона точно засадить його за грати. Я не здивуюсь, якщо вона їх покриває. Чому ж до цього вона не зробила? Нічого. Що це за пошта мені прийшла?
The Ashwinders have ceased pestering me. I suspect that's your doing. Thank you from me and Rosie both. We're just leaving for our honeymoon after we tell Mr. Hill of our recent marriage. Wish me luck.
Хо-хо! Оце він дав жару. Він просто з нею одружився. І просто скаже батьку постфактум: ми одружилися. Роби, що хочеш. Живи з цим.
You are the talk of the school since you saved Mr. Rabe and I from the Ashwinders. We have come so far. We should discuss the next steps in our plan to stop Harlow.
Доки я прийшла погодувати свою маленьку живність, яка в мене тут є, мені знову прийшов лист. У мене тут маленький місячний телець з'явився, дитинча ось таке кумедне. Доведеться знову зустрітися з Натті. Хвилинка мімішності. Ну, ви тут розважайтеся, місячні тельці, ми підемо з Натті поговоримо. Погляньте, здається, і Хогвартс вже прикрасили до Нового року. З'являються ялиночки. І тут, в головній залі, також з'явились ялинки. Ну, це, я розумію, підготовка йде. Клас.
Revelio.
Цікаво буде, до речі, подивитися в головній залі, в великій. Як там? Теж, скрізь за все, прикрасили залу до Нового року. Мені здається, що ми, власне, йдемо до великої зали. Воу! Погляньте, як гарно! Сніг іде, бурульки всюди, вони прикрасили. Прикрасили залу до Нового року, до Різдва. Всюди ялинки. Тут така величезна ялинка, кінця краю не видно. Ха, клас! У мене такий новорічний настрій з'явився знову. Оце я розумію. Підготувалися. Різдво на носі. Почекаємо нашу подругу.
I have been meaning to speak with you.
Погляньте. Всі снідають. Тільки чомусь немає ні директора, ні вчителів. Вдень набагато все красивіше, як на мене. Натті, що ти
I
хотіла?
have been meaning to speak with you.
I still can't believe we escaped the Ashwinders.
You may not realize it, but you are the talk of the school since you saved me that day.
I wonder how everyone knows about it.
I told my mother in the hope that she would be more forgiving of what I have been up to if it came from me. She likely told other professors, and news travels quickly. Unfortunately, she might, in fact, have been even less forgiving than I'd hoped.
Себто я тепер типу місцева героїня, чи що?
If she knew more about what you've done, I suspect she'd be proud.
If she knew any more about what I've done, she would never let me out of her sight again.
I'm sorry. Has Officer Singer done anything with the evidence we provided?
She has not. Harlow is as strong as ever. Someone needs to stop him, whether it is us or Officer Singer. If someone had stopped the monsters like him in Matabeleland, my father would be alive today.
What exactly happened to your father?
It was a beautiful day. My mother had gone to tend to a neighbor who was ill, and so my father and I were galloping in the savannah.
Galloping? Your father was also an animagus, I take it?
He could become the most majestic giraffe, and he would carry me on his back, my arms around his neck. We were on our way home when we surprised a group of bandits who had come from our village. One of them saw me just as he removed a scarf from his face. He shouted and then aimed his rifle.
He didn't want you to identify him.
Exactly. In an instant, my father bowed his neck to protect me, and as he fell, my father changed back into his human form. When the bandits saw this, they turned and ran in fear. Magic terrified them, and then he was gone. And it was all my fault.
Your fault?
Ні,
How so?
чому?
He died protecting me. If I had been capable of protecting myself, he would still be alive today. My mother and I tried to go on without him, but it became too much for us there. A few years later, we left to come to Scotland.
Ой, Натті, ти взагалі не винна. Це був нещасний випадок, не картай себе.
Do you think taking down the Ashwinders will avenge your father's death?
No. Vengeance is not what drives me. My father would not want that. He and my mother raised me to believe that it is a privilege to be able to fight for those who... I know there is risk involved, but I feel it is worth it. I am glad you seem to think so too.
Як поживає твоя мама?
What does your mother think about all of this?
Well, as you saw, she worries a great deal. She is an excellent seer, but I think it bothers her to this day that she did not see my father's death coming. She misses him, as do I. So I believe on some level she understands my need to seek justice in a small way. But that does not mean that she likes it.
Що б подумав твій батько про те, що ми робимо?
Do you think your father would approve of the things we've been doing?
Oh my, that is a good question. In theory, yes. Although he would worry as my mother does. But I think he, of all people, would understand my persistence. My father never shied away from a fight for good, no matter how ruthless the foe. And I think he would have enjoyed knowing that I had a compatriot like you.
I'm sorry, Natty. I can't imagine what you've been through. Your father sounds exceptional.
He was truly extraordinary. And thank you for your kind words. We all have our burdens. My father had a saying about that.
Yes, I remember. Rain does not fall on one roof alone.
Exactly. Soon you and I will put an end to the Ashwinders, beginning with Harlow. And once he is gone, we will turn our attention to Rookwood. We are making progress, and we will succeed. Thank you again for saving me. You deserve all of the praise you have received.
Вона істинна Грифіндорка. Так, то така смілива. Нічого не боїться, абсолютно. Як мені подобається ця кімната. Так гарно. Двір трансфігурації теж прикрасили. Але я щось не бачу сніговичка. Раніше тут був сніговичок, а тепер його немає. Є тільки ялинки. Дракончика того прикрасили. Я тут, до речі, знайшла якийсь квест, з'явився в Хогвартсі. Поговоріть з ученицею Гаффлпафа в астрономічному крилі. Я гадаю, що ми наостанок виконуємо це завдання.
Pardon me. Is everything all right?
No, it's not. We only had 2 bells to go, but she just had to go and spoil things.
I'm afraid I don't follow. Who spoiled things? Also, what bells?
Professor Black ordered Mr. Moon to take down the bells in the bell tower. Said they were giving him a headache. Those bells are a part of Hogwarts. I wasn't about to let that happen. So, I asked my friend Adelaide to help me put them back. We've always been a duo of sorts, Adelaide and Evangeline. Addie and Evie. Anyway, it was going swimmingly until Black started asking questions. Then she wasn't comfortable with our rule breaking. Now I'm stuck, unable to tell which bell goes where.
Is it really that important that the bells go back up?
Is it really that important? They're part of the school's history. Those bells likely told a young Merlin that he was running late to Charms, or called Ignatia Wildsmith to dinner. We can't simply fiddle with history. We're meant to be its stewards.
Невже професор Блек насправді зняв дзвони через головний біль?
It's certainly an odd decree, even for Black. Taking down the bells for a headache.
I agree. I thought it might also have been that they interrupted his hourly naps. That's all he does in his office, you know. But then I heard... Can you keep a secret?
I can.
I heard from Alice, who heard from Ollie, who heard from Eugenia, that it's because the bells reminded him of his wedding day. Breaks out in a sweat every hour on the hour. But mum's the word.
Дурня якась. Чому через його якийсь психічний розлад, типу, має страждати вся школа?
If only 2 bells are left, isn't it fairly easy to tell which goes where?
Easy for you, perhaps. I happen to be tone deaf. Mother likes to say I couldn't carry a tune if it hopped on my back like a chocolate frog. No point putting them back in if they don't sound just as they did before, for the sake of historical accuracy.
Perhaps I could help put the bells back up.
Really? Oh, that would be wonderful. The bells are in the bell tower just above the music room. You're certainly of more help than Adelaide.
Так, і де я маю...
Imagine the bells are just inside the bell tower.
Де я маю шукати цю дзвіницю, власне? Музична кімната нам траплялася, але я гадки не маю, де вона. Хогвартс доволі велика школа. Зараз знайдемо. Ось і музичний клас. Клас ми знайшли. Якась симпатична мелодія грає. Що з тобою, хлопче? Тобі що, погано? Так, це має знаходитись зверху. О! Замок. Мені здається, я ще сюди не ходила. Що це? Це дзвін, так? Один із дзвоників. Ага. Не вистачає двох. Так, а де ще один? Я бачила тільки один. Що ти робиш? Заспокойся. Так. Підіймаємо. Ага. Ага. А ну спробуємо. Спробуємо цей притулити. Бережіть своє вуха. О, мати рідна. Вони навіть розміру, типу, різного. Можна навіть, в кого нема слуху, за розміром розмістити спокійно. Так, а де ще один? Ось він. Як тебе дістати? Мабуть, вся школа чує, що я тут дзвоник на місце ставлю.
Wasn't too hard. Evangeline should be pleased about this, even if Black isn't.
Такі звуки неприємні, слухайте. Бідні вуха. Мені теж не подобається цей звук. О, скриня. Ми тут ще не були. Ой, тут якась жабка. Ще щось. Тотеми. Як гарно. Я ще ні разу тут не була. До речі, здається, можна на той бік, на ту вежу залізти. Оп. О, ще щось. Омфалоти! Вже зима, вони мені, типу, не потрібні. Ліхтарики. Так, повертаємося до нашої Євангеліки.
The bells back up, Evangeline.
Ah, you're a credit to the school. I can't wait to hear them. I can't wait for the headmaster to hear them. I wish I could see his face. Future generations may not truly appreciate what you've done, but I do. And I hope that you do as well. You don't know how much this means for me and for Hogwarts.
О, ріг якийсь дали. Тут ще, до речі, є один квест ось з'явився. Глибини Мерке. Неріда Роберт сидить на пристані біля Гогвартської човнярні, треба поговорити з нею. Теж нам щось можуть дати якесь завдання. Тобі тут не холодно? Ти дубцю не відморозила, Неріда?
Going for a swim?
Goodness, no. Though I'm beginning to think I really should learn how to swim. Can't very well be liaison to the mer people if I don't know how to swim.
You're a liaison to the mer people?
Well, not technically, no. At least not yet. The position doesn't actually exist at the moment, but I have a plan to change that. I'm Nerida, by the way. Nerida Roberts. We didn't officially meet, but we duelled in the Crossed Wands Club.
Yes, of course. Good to see you again.
And you.
You seem quite interested in mer people.
I am. and they're as misunderstood and disregarded by wizard-kind as goblins and centaurs are. I feel that if goblins and centaurs have liaison officers at the ministry, then the mer people should have one too.
Непогана ідея, до речі.
I'm impressed. I think reaching out to the mer people is a grand idea.
You do? Oh, thank you. Of course I haven't exactly done anything just yet. I presented them with a gift a few weeks ago, and they wanted to leave me one as well, in one of their caves. Reciprocity and an offer to visit. I tried telling them I couldn't swim, but I'm afraid that bit got lost in translation. Mermish really is tricky.
How has wizardkind fallen short in its treatment of mer people?
Well, we've consistently deemed mer people as being beneath us despite the many similarities between our cultures. One can hardly blame them for declining being status by the ministry years ago. Who are we to classify those of such beauty and intelligence?
What do you imagine a liaison to the mer people would do?
Oh, so many things. I want to know everything I can about them. After I've mastered swimming, I'd perfect my mermish, of course, and I'd share with them anything they wanted to know about wizardkind. My hope is that by understanding each other better, both of our societies could grow.
Що такого цікавого в русаліях?
What is it about the mer people that interests you so much?
I can't begin to tell you how brilliant they are. I mean, rumor is that tales about them have infiltrated even the Muggle world. The oldest known mer people, sirens, come from Greece. And of course Scotland has Selkies and Ireland is home to Merrow. I could go on for ages about them. Their glorious underwater communities, domestication of sea life, their art and music. It's a travesty how little is understood about them.
Дійсно.
Well, I can swim and could help you if you'd like.
You'd really do that? Oh, thank you! Thank you, thank you! The last thing I want is for them to think I'd shunned their gift. Diplomacy is a delicate dance. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think you can dive down to their cave from just there in the water.
Доволі...
I can't wait to hear about what you find. One day soon I'll see for myself. I just know it.
Вона не схожа на слизерінку. Таке враження, ніби вона з Гафелпаф. Вона хоче налагодити відносини. В неї доволі цікаве бачення того, як це все має бути. Але на вулиці зима, і, типу, ми будемо пливти до тієї печери. Мабуть, цей квест потрібно було зробити раніше, коли ще було тепло, але зробимо його зараз. Доволі незвичний квест. Це їхня печера. Тут, до речі, якась загадка. Я бачу знову двері і метеликів, які потрібно туди помістити. І всюди намальовані русалки. Цікаво, хто збудував це місце. Хотілося б побачити хоч одну русалку. Гоблінів і кентаврів ми бачили, а от русалок ми не бачили. Хоча із серії Гаррі Поттера вони доволі страшні були, насправді. Коли вони його мало не втягли на дно.
What do we have in here then?
Просто скриня.
Merida will be happy about this.
Артефакт русалок. Доволі дивно, що вони їй артефакт якийсь подарували, прикрасу. Я гадаю, вона не одна хотіла з ними знайти якусь спільну мову. Але це нечесно. Вона мала би навчитися тоді плавати. і сама дістати цей подарунок. От, наприклад, десь якась русалонька побачить, що за неї виконали це завдання. І образяться на неї. Скажуть, що ти за зв'язківець такий, якщо ти не вмієш плавати?
Your gift from the mer people was exactly where they said it would be.
Oh, that's wonderful news! I was so worried I'd left it too long and they'd seen it as a slight. Our relationship with them is already so tenuous.
Рада, що допомогла, насолоджуйся своїм подарунком. А можна залишити його собі. Ну, це доволі дивно.
Then I'm glad we helped to foster some healthy diplomatic relations.
Merlin's beard. It's marvelous. I'm going to show it to everyone, including the ministry. Should I hand deliver it or send by owl? Thank you again so much. You may have just helped improve relations between wizard kind and mer people for decades to come.
Молодець, дівчинка.
I can't wait to study this.
Молодець, не кидай цю справу. Уніформу служби зв'язку якусь дали.
Another adventure, are we?
Я гадаю, що ми на цьому будемо завершувати дану серію. І в наступній серії ми вже відразу в першу чергу підемо, вломимося в кабінет нашого директора. Нарешті побачимо, де він там спить, де він живе, де він сидить. Ви тицяйте вподобайки, підписуйтесь на канал, хто ще цього не зробив. Ми з вами побачимо вже зовсім скоро. Всім бувайте!